This is Kakaaki Social. I'm Obozeghie. Thank you for holding on. Now, Senator Elisha Abbo will no longer represent Adamawa North Senatorial District because he's been sacked by the Court of Appeal. Reverend Onoshiorena of the People's Democratic Party will now be the occupant of a seat at the Red Chambers. Of course, Abbo's certificate of return is to be withdrawn and issued to Yorena. The displaced senator has reacted and is confident that the Senate President Godswill Akpabio influenced the decision of the court because he wasn't supportive of his candidacy on the floor of the Senate. And about 4 others, including Oji Uzokalu, who declared himself the most competent for the Senate President and wanted the office not only zoned to his ward, but to his name, is one of them. Let's take a listen and come back for reactions.
5 of us, take it. They told me that I'm going, Ojuzokalu is going, and few others are going because we did not support the emergence of my brother and my colleague, Senator Akpabio, from emerging the president of the Senate. This is not democracy. The court, we have hope in the court. The court should be careful. Let us build the country. International community are watching us. You cannot withdraw a ground and the Court of Appeal restore a ground without the lawyers asking for that ground to be restored. The court will restore it and then voided somebody's election, people's mandate. Mr. President, this is not democracy that you wanted.
All right, so the media aide to Godswill Akpabio has also reacted, and he says this is like nonsense. This doesn't make sense, and he's just been aggressive for nothing. Sizzling reaction says if so many elections held by Mahmoud Yakubu have been overturned, why does he still hold the job as head of INEC? Definitely. This user says, I am Ilemona from the PDP, says, this is a serious allegation though, and this man should be invited to explain because he's alleging that Senator Akpabio has influenced the judges of the Court of Appeal to give a judgment against the grain of the law. He needs to tell the nation what he knows. For Israel, it says Elisha Abbo could be right that Godswill Akpabio responsible for his sack at appeal court because many recent court judgments and confessions of one of them of his wife influenced while as a judge, it seems the judiciary now under high and mighty hands of the society. Also in reaction, Alaba says, accept defeat and move on with your life. Nobody ordered or told any judge to unseat you. Life is such that you win one, you lose one. Life goes on. Best wishes. And then, like the internet or people never forget, this user comes back to say, good one. He cannot have enough time to browse every sex toy outlet available in town. Like, we're not going to forgive him already for slapping that lady at a sex toy shop in Abuja. Now, ironically, the sack of the Chief Executive and Registrar General of Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, Garuba Abubakar, by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu caused staff members to throw a party at the headquarters in Abuja on Monday. The rejoicing CAC staff are under the aegis of the Amalgamated Union of Public Corporations, Civil Service, Technical and Recreational Services employees. Now, let's see the allegations they've leveled against him as they detailed on this flyer. Our banner, it says, with gratitude to God, the entire staff of Corporate Affairs Commission celebrate this, and it says, fetish and vicious tyrant Registrar General, whose tyrannical reign of 3 years and 9 months terminates on the October 13, 2023. And he says he will be fondly remembered for abuse of office, backwardness, power intoxication, lies, impunity, divide and rule styles of leadership, mischief, high level of corruption, sadism, nepotism, Okpo. Let's go over to the next slide to see, listen to them, what they are accusing the outgone registrar of.
Nepotism. The same ladder they followed to grow was the same ladder they removed so that people cannot climb to reach them. Favoritism. Directors were converted to like ordinary staff. A director cannot function as director because there's no delegated authority in the commission. Registrar General is the approving officer of the commission. Is the director IT? Is the director business name? Director human resource? He's everything in the commission. He's even a security man at the gate.
We are imploring the ministry, the federal government, not to pay his entitlement. He has to forfeit his entitlement. He must not be paid. He was dismissed. He didn't see out his tenure.
All right, so they also added that they are hoping that the new man on the seat does not be like the outgone. Let's have some reactions to this. Maurice David on Facebook says, anytime you see the civil servant, in brackets, evil servant, celebrating the sack of their boss, know that that boss was doing the right thing. Maybe the boss was standing against their excesses, recalcitrance, redundance, impunity, all kinds of negative vices. The civil servant is a cesspit of corruption, dereliction of duty, economic sabotage, etc. English, Okbo. For Francis, he says, good move. However, the devil you know is better than unimaginable angel you do not know yet. And more reactions coming in from Real Okpamiri. He says, even when some of them were benefiting while still with them, why now? And more reactions coming in from Ernest. It says CAC are not competent in their task. They don't follow up on what the companies they registered are actually doing. Agric Heinz is an example. How will you give a license or registration to scam scheme operators? Oh, well, let's see. And to our final story of the day. The Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy Ohaneye, has done it again, as netizens would say. This time, she's given the United Nations a month ultimatum to make public all donations they've ever gotten in Nigeria's name, or they will meet in court. Now, that has left people wondering, they did not give Madam Minister a job description. Abi 3 months into office, or even over 3 months into office, she's yet to research on her job jurisdiction, even though she's a lawyer. Well, all of this because just last week she also threatened to sue the Maitama General Hospital during an unscheduled visit to the accident and emergency unit of the hospital over the death of Greatness Olorun Femi after an encounter with One Chance Syndicate. Let's go back to yesterday to see the latest of the minister's episodes.
I stand here as the Minister of Women Affairs to demand from UN, all the UN, that we want account of all the money they sourced from donors in the name of Nigeria. We want to see the account of what they did with it. And if you don't give us these accounts, at least let Nigerians see what has been going on, then you plead with them, apologize to them, and change your ways. From 16th of October to November 15th, if we don't get those reports published for Nigerians to see, we are heading to court. From 16th of October to November 8th, they get our pre-action letter. That is to prepare them that by 15th, we're heading to court. And I'm promising Nigerians that as far as immediately it is that 15th, by the next day, you will hear the lawsuit number. And all of you will gather to that place the day the case will come on and come for them to defend the money they are using you to collect.
All right, so the minister right there, let's have some reaction. OG Kuku says, could this be a case of an entitled beggar? This threat of a lawsuit is to what end? The Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, Nigeria, is one of the UN's implementation partners in Nigeria. I am sure this lady hasn't looked into her ministry's books to observe the rod before making this uninformed statement. For Solomon, he says, when you don't know what to do, you find something and start doing. For more reactions, Olatunji says her AC installer must be investigated at this point. A forensic investigation must be launched to determine the gas in our air conditioners. And then for Vimo, it says the intention I hear is good, might have been delivered strongly, but the relevant individuals and institutions should send in the accounting reports as she requested. By the way, shame on those raising funds in the name of vulnerable and looting the funds. And more reactions coming in. From our next user, Dikwa says, what beats me more is the fact that she contested in APC presidential primaries. What if she had won that primaries? What if she won the general election? All of these are questions. So, okay. Adora, good morning. Good morning.
Why me?